Hey all, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of another slightly interesting LED-based desk lamp. Now, this one comes in 3 versions. This one has what's called a magic color, so there's a wheel on the top which is touch sensitive that you can control to change the specific hue and the tone of the LEDs, which are RGB. And all versions come with a built-in LCD display that tells the time and the temperature of the room that you're in. It has a bendable neck, and the 2 other versions potentially have a built-in Bluetooth speaker. So there is a variant that you can use to play music from a phone, and there's a 3rd version that has a power bank built in, which means you can detach it from the wall if the power goes out, or you can take it with you on the road and it can still be functional. So this lamp, even though it has quite a few different features going on, it sells for only about $36, so it's also quite affordable. We've been seeing quite a few unique LED lamps lately, including the hung LED lamp here, which has this interesting kind of levitating switch in midair, but this is more of a designer lamp. It doesn't have any other features like changing the temperature, the color, or charging your phone. This is more of a functional design. So inside we have a few things, including the lamp itself. We have a user manual here. We also have the AC power adapter, which is just using a USB tip, which is cool. It also comes with a USB plug, but you can also plug this into a computer, for instance, to power the lamp. So we have the touch strip on the middle here that we can tap on to turn it on and off. This is all capacitive, so there are no physical switches, it's just using your touch. And I can also change the color by sliding around, and that changes the dots on the left and on the right panels. And again, the slot inside here for storing pens and maybe even a phone if it's being charged. Speaking of, on the back is where you'll find the USB port for charging, supplying power up to 5 volt 2 amps, so that is sufficient to pretty quickly charge up most Android and iOS devices. But on the bottom here is where you'll find some ventilation ports. We also have rubber feet that prevents it from sliding around, as well as a backup battery, which is used to supply the clock. Alright, so I've plugged it in using the micro USB ports, and it's actually working quite well. We can tap on the capacitive switch here just to turn on the main light, and again the bendable neck here is actually quite flexible, and if we look very closely we can kind of discern all the individual LEDs here. It does provide a pretty natural overall kind of glow, and you do have a few different brightness settings as well. So the first one is the least bright, and the next one gets a little brighter, the next one is the 3rd brightness, and then it turns off. So there's 3 different selections that you have. And even with all the lights turned completely off, you can see it's still bright enough for you to do some reading very comfortably. And as far as the side lights here, they're more meant as kind of a mood lamp, so you don't really use them for reading, but you use it for maybe ambient lighting. So I can change the hue here. Again, by sliding around my finger, it is very sensitive, so it does provide all of these small changes in terms of the color. Whether it's purple, I can also jump around immediately just by tapping on different points. And the green point on the bottom here is also acting as the power switch, so I can turn it on and off from this particular point, and then I can also change the color by sliding into a different part of the wheel, or just by swiping my finger like so. I can have actually the main lights turned off, as you can see here, and just have the mood lamp on. The primary display is quite bright, and we can also see information like the temperature in degrees Celsius, in addition to the day of the week, Thursday, as well as the month and the particular date. And on the base, we also can change things like the temperature. If I wanted to go between degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit, for instance, or between 12 and 24-hour formats. But the one thing that you can't really change is the brightness of this display, so it's always going to cast a little bit of light in the room. Also, there isn't a snooze key on this particular kind of alarm clock. It does hold a number of pens and other accessories, including a phone in here, without any issues. Finally, the USB charging port is quite functional, although I would have preferred if this port was located on maybe the front or on the sides, because if this is pressed against a wall, that means you kind of have to take it away and then move it around just to plug in the charger. However, if you just have a common cable that you always have plugged in, maybe only for your smartphone, then it would work pretty well. In terms of charging rates and performance, again, it is 5 volt 2 amps, which is actually going to give you a pretty fast charge for most Android devices. Will be charged up in under 2 hours or so in my testing so far. So that's pretty much it as far as our hands-on review of this very unique LED desk lamp is concerned. It is very multifunctional, packing in this unique storage compartment, a USB charging port, as well as this color wheel / Bluetooth speaker, depending on what you pick up, and a pretty functional kind of brightness control on the top here. Even though the design might not be as clean as what Xiaomi is offering, it definitely packs in more features at a more affordable price. You can find out more details in the links down below, but for now that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been this unique pen holder and music magic color touch LED